Silver lining. We went back to this one finally. Okay, so as usual, I've got my newish headset here. So as the music gets super loud, let me turn that down a little bit. Turn it up. Also, let me know if there is an echo. I think looks like there is. Maybe. Okay. And with that, let's get into the silver lining. Episode 3, My Only Love Sprung from My Only Hate. Graham's quest continues as his world continues to fall apart and grow more mysterious, with strange visions of old foes, unexplained oddities in the Isles, and now Queen Valanice seems to have reached her breaking point. But there will be no rest for the king until his family is safe. As he gathers more ingredients to break the spell on his children, powers beyond this world will pull Graham into the past and force him to reconsider everything he believes. Begin episode. Okay. Loading. Just audio down more. Actually, while that's loading, I'm going to close my blinds behind me here to cut down the screen glare that I've got going on. So.
Previously on The Silver Lining.
The silver cloaks. They were 12 at the end. They became one with the Zodiah stone to imprison the men.
Is this the man who released Alexander and Rosella?
He is back.
He is
Choppy.
greater than any foe you have yet faced. I can only say that your fate has bound you to this evil man.
There is an ancient druid spell that will grant you entrance into their realms. If you bring the ingredients of the spell to me, I can create it for you.
This is grave news, Agatha. That's the vile witch who kidnapped Valanice, locked her in a tower in Kalima. And Manannan, that's the blackguard who stole Alexander when he was just an infant.
Manannan, I gave you an education and you would have grown to take my place. Such an amazing power inside your mind and your sisters. You truly are the children of prophecy, my son.
Don't you dare call me that!
The key to his freedom lies deep within the memory of your children. But it is not only your children he is after. Queen Valanice, too, plays a role.
King Graham, you must come with me immediately.
What's wrong?
It's your wife.
Valanice! Valanice! It's all right, Valanice. It's all right. Don't lose yourself over this. It will all be fine.
You are about to learn a great deal about yourself, King Graham.
Alright, that video was a little choppy, but I think the gameplay should be just fine as we get into it. So since the last time I played this on the stream, I've gotten my new to me computer. So that might explain some of the difference in video quality we had there. But okay, this is playing just fine though. So that's good. So turn off my phone. "23 years ago. Now, if you'll recall, the twins are just turning 21, so this is 2 years before that. This is disappointing how choppy this is being. I played this earlier just for a test run on this computer. I mean, it wasn't streaming at the time, and it was playing just fine. Alright, there we go. That's better. I'll open up my settings and cut down on the detail. Maybe that will help. Uh-oh. This looks serious.
Valanice.
Oh.
Do you remember when we first met?
Let's turn the subtitles on,
You said
too.
that you had been dreaming of a moment like that for as long as you were in that tower. But at the same time, you never imagined it was going to be so beautiful. You also said that you wished that it could last forever. And I made you a promise. I promised you I would keep this dream alive. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do so. And one day, I will disappear. And what is to become of you? What is to become of our children, of my family? Valanice, I'll stop this nightmare. I'll mend this path so you may dream forever, my love. I made you a promise, and I'll never break it for as long as I am alive.
Episode 3. My only love sprung from my only hate. Alright, let's check the scroll. See what's up. We've got 3 of those. What do we have this time? Male subject's strength, female subject's voice, a silver moon, and a pinch of lively shaken salt. Alright. So, first, let's mess with our options a little bit here. Alright, you can take us. There we go. I'll try keeping that and see how that works. Subtitles. I don't use those anyway. Okay. Yes. Play. Alright.
Valanice. Sweet Valanice. Graham will always remember the day he first saw her in the magic mirror. She was so young, and even though she was trapped in that horrible tower, she emanated a beauty that Graham has only seen again in the face of his daughter. It was fate that brought him to her, and so he is eternally grateful to the threads of destiny. He could not imagine his life without her, and can only hope that she is strong enough to overcome this, while he cannot be at her side to protect her.
Alright.
Even when Graham prefers the balcony doors open, He shut them tight in fear of Valenice's actions.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's
Graham could take Valenice's crown, but before he has a very good reason for it, he would rather not disturb her sleep.
Interesting. All right, you take a rest. I've got some things
Pockets
to
are
do.
getting a little heavy. I'll just put a few of these things away for now.
All right, our way of clearing out inventory you didn't need anymore.
How is she faring, sire?
Keep an eye on her. Post a guard here day and night.
I shall do it myself, sire.
I appreciate it. I can't stay by her side.
Do not worry over it.
Thank you.
Graham.
Oh, good idea to go check this too. Sure. Yeah, let's
Good
chat
day,
with him.
Saladin.
Good day, King Graham.
What exactly happened with Valenice?
I'm afraid I'm as clueless as you are. I was gathered with the guards in the main hall, giving them an outline of the plans to follow, when the Queen suddenly interrupted us.
Interrupted you? How? Valenice rarely gets involved in military movement.
Oh, no, it was nothing like that. She just came running down the stairs as if she were escaping from something. She kept screaming as if she were talking to someone, pleading to be left in peace.
His
I
ears
immediately
perk up.
alarmed my guards, and they searched the entire castle, but no stranger was found.
Who was she talking to then?
I'm afraid I can't answer that question. The Queen was very disturbed, and perhaps this was just her mind creating illusions.
Valenice is not going mad.
I didn't mean to imply that, sire. They only meant that the stress of recent events is surely taking a toll on her.
Do you think what happened to Valenice could be linked somehow to the recent events with my children?
I don't know. It's a possibility, but there was no one there.
You mustn't forget that this being is very powerful in magic. Perhaps you didn't see it, but Valenice did.
That is something only the Queen can answer.
Indeed.
Have you found anything relevant about the cloaked man at the wedding?
No. I have sent emissaries to question and search all over the Green Isles, but we haven't been successful. No one has heard of or seen the stranger before.
You surely must have a hypothesis.
I don't base investigations upon suppositions.
Ooh, big
Only
words.
when I have a solid set of clues can I give you a report.
All right.
I see your loyalty to my son. How do you find him as a king?
King Alexander is a righteous governor, and very just when it comes to the distribution of wealth amongst the lands. He's very intelligent in making decisions, if stubborn at times.
He's still young.
And I'm aware of that, and it's why I try to give him some advice without trying to make decisions for him. I will always support the king's decision.
Because it's Alexander or just to the crown?
I'm loyal to the crown, but King Alexander is also to my liking.
Handy that. All right.
I'll be getting back to helping my family now.
Good luck. I'll watch over the Queen.
Thank you.
It's my duty.
I heard you got put on kitchen duty last night. Captain Saladin said if I was so interested in sniffing about the castle, I ought to go to the kitchens directly. I told you not to keep snuffling like you were hungry all the time on duty. I can't help it if I have such a sensitive nose. You'd think they'd try putting my talents to good use. Out in the countryside or hunting down criminals.
Brr.
A sensitive nose and a big stomach, you mean?
What would you
That's the voices of those two dogs are Cesar and Neil, the people on the production team. Yeah, Cesar being the designers and Neil was one of the programmers. And I'm just remembering we recorded all the dog voices when we were all up at the other director Rich's house one time, and just we had a great time doing that. We're cracking up, I think, the whole time we were recording the voices, so it took a couple takes to get everything. I voiced one of the guard dogs. I forget if she is in this episode or... I think it is this episode. It'll be mine for the captain.
Cosima is concentrating on her work. Graham is pleased to see this, as he knows the pain that must be going through her heart. He knows well how focusing on a task can ease that pain, if only for a time.
Well, let's go talk to her.
Am I interrupting something?
Oh, Your Majesty, I didn't notice you were here.
I was just passing by, seeing how my children were doing.
They've been good and haven't interrupted me.
Where did everybody else go?
They left me to prepare a speech. I would usually write this sort of thing in the study, but I prefer to stay by Alexander's side as much as I can right now.
How's it coming?
I'm having some problems. Alexander would always help me write them. Saladin was helping me, but then he had to meet his guards downstairs, and then, well, the incident with your wife.
Yes, that was the last thing I needed at this moment.
How is she doing?
She's asleep now.
This is all so upsetting. Have you had any luck finding a cure?
The druids have helped me, and there's some hope yet.
That's a relief. They are good people, if reclusive.
And very wise.
Alright, let's talk about
How do you think Alexander is doing?
I was with him for most of yesterday. He just sleeps like he's dead. I don't see how he can be brought back.
He can, Cosima. You know he can. Look outside. There was a terrible storm yesterday, but now it's clear. Everything dark will lead into something light. You just have to have faith that it will.
I know, but it's so hard. Look at him. You wouldn't expect him to make much noise, but to be so quiet? I just can't take this.
It's going to be all right. Trust me. I know it is somehow imprudent, but can you tell me about Alexander? I'm talking about the way he is, as a man, as a husband, and as a king.
I sometimes forget you probably know him less than I do. It's such a shame, really, that he didn't get to grow up with his family.
I'm sure he wouldn't be the man he is now.
Every cloud has a silver lining. Isn't that what they say?
Title drop.
Yes, Cosima. My point exactly.
We have title drop.
Maybe not all is that good.
What do you mean?
Alexander has issues. Things he won't trust anybody with.
That's understandable. He grew up as a slave.
He doesn't talk too much. Well, he's a good king, but when it comes to personal issues, he won't talk about them. It frustrates me at times because I want to help him through it, but I can't.
Perhaps you should try to be a little more understanding of what he's been through?
No, don't get me wrong. I understand very well. I know what it's like being dragged away from your family and forced to become someone else's slave. I still wake up at night, sweating, scared, and it was just a couple of years. I can't begin to imagine how it was for him. A whole life? You know, Your Majesty, I love your son so much.
I know you do, my child. I know you do.
Let's talk more about Alex.
Has he ever said anything about how he feels?
At times. Sometimes I get him to the point where he's about to let it out, but then he'll catch himself and pull away again.
What has he said in these moments?
He's unsure of what he deserves. He hasn't told me this directly, but that's what I gather. He is stubborn at times and won't take orders from anybody.
He's probably had enough of those.
I also think he's very afraid of losing all he has now.
Does he blame us?
No, never. He's most happy to have found you. He always imagined you like that, he says.
What does he like to do?
He enjoys his time by my side, but sometimes he just likes to be on his own.
You can't blame him. He's not used to being around people.
Well, he's gotten better. The first weeks, I'd be lucky if he stayed in a town meeting for more than an hour. Now he even enjoys the company of others. But still, there's a dark shadow, almost like a living pain surfacing in his eyes.
All you can do is be by his side.
That's what I do. He's learned to come to me, and I'll keep silent while he cries on my shoulder like a scared child.
He must have some terrible demons inside.
It's really heartbreaking. He just holds me tight as if not wanting to let go. Do you think he's gone?
He's not gone, my child. I know this is hard on everybody, but we must keep the faith.
You know, they say that people can still hear when they are asleep. That you can transmit certain emotions. We shouldn't let him hear this.
So fun fact, Amy, who voices Cosima, is actually married to Mike, who voices Alexander, so...
Did you find my daughter to your liking?
Of course.
That's an
Rosella
odd
is,
question to ask.
well, she has all this energy. One night, she almost convinced me to steal the ferry and travel to the Isle of Mist. But Edgar and Alexander came back at the moment we were preparing to leave.
Aww.
Don't let yourself be carried away by my daughter's ideas. Sometimes I think she'll never grow up.
Oh, I don't see the need to be too hard on her. We've become really good friends over these few months we've been talking to each other, especially after the wedding was set to be here. I think she's just afraid.
With a husband, there comes responsibility and children.
Yes.
Hey, Graham, don't go presuming.
As she's used to. It's just that she's afraid. But I'm sure she'll get over it and grow to be a wonderful wife and mother.
For the sake of Edgar, I hope so too.
Okay. So I've just been told that apparently the audio is not coming through. Let me turn up the desktop audio. Is that any better? I just adjusted the volume. I'll get them talking. Here.
You are lucky to have grown up in such a beautiful land as this.
I guess I am. Though sometimes I think the weather
now?
is just too hot or the waves are just too violent.
Always something.
I am glad to rule over it. I'm sure Alexander is too.
Does he ever talk about his own homeland to you?
All the time. I would love to visit your kingdom again after we get out of this mess, which I pray we do, King Graham. Daventry is so lovely.
I would be honored to welcome you there, Cosima. Do you think the Isles are recovering from this?
People have been sending messages to the castle non-stop since you left. Everyone's worried. They're afraid to leave their homes. No one knows how the other Isles are doing.
It is your duty as a queen to reassure them.
That's what I'm trying to do with this speech. I will be addressing the people at noon. Perhaps you can come by and add something?
They are your people, my child. I'm just a foreigner, and it's you they believe in. You'll do fine.
I can only hope.
Tiny crown.
Why do you think my wife was acting the way she was, Cosima?
I have no idea. She just started talking to herself and walking around as if she couldn't hear us. I'm sure it's the tragedy that caused her to almost go mad.
I don't understand. Valanice could match me with something like this any day. She's endured similar tragedies before. As terrible as this is, I don't think this alone could have made her act in such a way.
What do you think this other thing is, then?
I don't know, but I don't have time to find out now.
I will do my best to try to be by her side.
Thank you, Cosima. I'd better leave you to your work. I'll try to stop by to listen to your speech.
Thanks, King Graham.
Graham has never seen Rosella lying so still for such a long period of time. He cannot help looking at his little girl's golden locks with tenderness. A few strands fallen across her face, her mischief-filled eyes shut to the world, and her voice so silent. The land's all the poorer for being deprived of her laughter. For a moment, it's too much for the king, and he feels his legs struggle to hold him up, his will gone and his heart filled with only despair. But he perseveres, knowing his little girl needs him now more than ever, and Graham is determined to rescue her. A long time ago, before Alexander was born, Graham read a book of a man who journeyed for years in search of his purpose and fighting against an inherent darkness that struggled to overcome him. The protagonist's name was Alexander. It was so compelling that it led Graham to name his son after that character, and he desperately hopes now that Alexander is as fortunate in his struggles as the one in the story. Alexander keeps old mementos from his first visit to the Green Isles here. He told his father that he used to exchange them with Hakim, the pawn shop owner. But once he settled down, he went back to the shop and bought them all to remind him of how he came to rescue and marry his
I
dream.
like that touch. Also,
Unless there's a very good unless
alright, let's see.
it's Graham does. Alexander, he told his father that he used to
All right. And on through the castle. Downstairs. Yes.
The
This
guard
is the
dog's
guard
stiff
dog
posture and
that
alert
I
gaze
voiced.
make it clear she takes her job very seriously, and Graham doesn't doubt that she's very good at it as well.
Welcome,
In a
Seriar.
way, she reminds him of Sir Connor,
I
young
was,
but serious
was
and
worried you
dedicated
hadn't
to
heard
her
this yet,
position
so
and
glad
her
to see you here.
kingdom. He also can't help but wonder if she's related to Captain Saladin, as the only other collie guard dog he's seen.
So, who wants to hear my voice acting?
Good day, guard.
Good day, Your Majesty!
Yikes, that was loud.
What was that, Your Majesty?
Nothing. What are you guarding, good dog?
Good dog.
My duty is to keep anyone from entering the throne room while renovations are happening.
I thought they had been put on hold for the wedding.
Yes, but Captain Saladin has been investigating every corner of the castle in search of clues to find the stranger. So now that the throne room has been reopened, I stand here to make sure no one enters.
And why can't anyone enter?
Safety reasons. There are boards with nails in them, sire. Nails!
That line. That's a Chef Tabushi game, not exactly an AGDI style. Oh yes. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the game and feel it's in the King's Quest spirit, even though it is not, the AGDI style. But...
There could be tools in there that could help me in my quest. Would you at least let me take a peek?
Negative? The throne room is off limits!
I'm the king's father. Wouldn't you consider it in order?
My duty is to protect the king and his family. And you, being his father, are part of my duty. It is too dangerous!
Would you take a peek for me then?
Negative!
Why not?
If I do, who guards this door and prevents people from entering?
But you would only be a few steps away. You could keep an eye on both places.
That would be in direct violation of Article 7, Paragraph 5 of the Guard Dog Guidelines!
But...
Negative!
What's your rank, soldier?
I'm a lieutenant, second only to Captain Saladin.
Impressive. So how do you find the overall performance of the castle guards?
Those good-for-nothing hounds? Once this emergency is over, they will hear from me.
I take it you're not too happy with them.
Negative, especially when they break conduct.
I think I saw something strange happening in the upstairs hallway.
Strange? Could you be more specific?
That's the thing. I'm not sure what it is.
Maybe someone with your skills could make more out of it.
I cannot leave my post.
But what if it's something dangerous? What if someone's threatening the king and queen?
According to the guidelines, Article 7, Paragraph 15, it is permitted to leave one's post in case of an emergency. Would you consider this an emergency?
Oh yes, definitely.
Right then, we're in the upstairs hall. There's
all right.
no time to lose.
And of course, we haven't actually set up a distraction, so let's just send it.
By my bedroom.
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh no. Uh-oh. Crap. Yeah, apparently I ran into a bug. Oh, I haven't saved yet. Crap. Alright. Crap. Okay, there is an autosave, I think. Yeah, alright. Sorry, guys. Yes. That sucks. Okay. Let me go open this up again. I really hope I don't have to replay all that. I forget if there's an autosave on this. Yes. I mean, there is an autosave because we have retry, but I don't know if I would have encountered one since I haven't. Yeah, I'll skip the Casima conversation. Good call. And I didn't take anything from that room, so yeah, I can just go down to her and. Honestly, I can probably just leave the castle in general. Because we've talked to Casima, you guys saw that, you saw what happened in the conversation with Saladin, with her. I can just replay those on my own time and get some new stuff. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna skip all those conversations. Oops. Yeah, because we also hadn't actually placed a distraction. I think I might have to go through those conversations in order to know I need to make one for later, but I'm not at the point where I actually need what's in the throne room right now, so I'm just gonna go out and explore some more stuff. What? Oh. I'll try to get it responding here. Okay, great. And now it's crashing on me. Always something, right? Alright, come on now. So one of the nice things about the games made in Unity, as opposed to this old one around made in Torque, is that, and I don't know if this is true in Cognition, but it is in the later ones, there's a key you can hit to get out of a wait cycle, so that if a thing like that happened, with you know, getting into that, all of a sudden this is sort of there was, I forget what it is, it might be the spacebar, something, I gotta remind myself what it is, but there's a key you can hit to kind of just end that cycle, like force it to stop, so that you can then keep going. You might be stuck in whatever camera you're in, but usually there's something you can click to keep things going if you need to. Kind of like I was stuck in that close-up of the shelf before, but when I hit the walk button, I was able to get out. So, fun background info for you. Excuse me. Rizzo's face is kind of in weird proportions here, isn't it? So is Valenice's, actually. Because both of them are sort of turned to the side and looking back, so their faces both kind of end up a little bit skewed oddly.
Previously on The Silver Lining.
The silver
Thank you. Oh, wait, yeah. Also, The Silver Lining is always free to download at our store, so if you're liking what you see here, you should go check it out. Also, the soundtrack for episodes 1 and 2 is in there. Also free.
This has come in very handy. Not only this.
The door.
My pockets are getting a little heavy. I'll just put a few of these things away for now.
So yeah. As I was saying before, our way of getting rid of items you don't need. So we could free up some slots visually.
How is she?
Yeah.
Graham thinks it may.
I heard you got put on kitchen duty
Here is
last night.
Cesar and Neil in their
Sullivan
guard dog
said if I
acting.
was so interested in sniffing about the castle, I ought to go to the kitchens directly. I told you not to keep snuffling like you were hungry all the time on duty. I can't help it if I have such a sensitive nose. You'd think they'd try putting my talents to good use. Out in the countryside or hunting down criminals. Sure. A sensitive nose and a big stomach, you mean?
Alright. I'm gonna go through some quick dialogue with her just so I have things set.
Good day, guard.
Good day.
Nothing. What are you? There. Would you take?
Negative.
Why not?
If I.
But.
Negative.
What's your?
Negative.
Alright.
I'll be getting back.
Goodbye.
Negative. I also really like her line about there are boards with nails in them. They're sired nails. Like, of all the dangerous things. And I'm pretty sure later it turns out she's correct. It is dangerous in there. We made sure to have a death possible in the throne room. Run! Run, you fool! I like to think Graham and his family did have more adventures, you know, when they were...
It looks like Casima's nightingale,
between
Sing Sing,
games.
is raising a family.
So... let's see... all, there are books in Ellie's bookshop that will help us as far as some of the items on our list.
So much Graham. None of the books in that pile catch. Graham takes the book, Folklore of the Sea, and reads through it.
This we have read.
Graham
of Nightshade. And I think I read through these in a past one. Yeah, so basically the story of Persephone and Hades, except a little different, or the Lord of the Dead and Persephone, as we put it here. Created Nightshade to tempt her. It can take your breath away. Empowered with the elements of life, air and water. So it would not kill her. So she breathed in the scent. It stole her immortal breath, leaving her vulnerable to death. She was seized into the underworld. And thus we have the seasons. Alright. So there's one hint for us.
Graham takes the book and reads through it. He finds an interesting story.
So this is The Princess and the Pea, kind of classic story. She shows up. Queen doesn't believe that she's a princess, because only a princess would be so sensitive as to be able to feel a pea through, 27 mattresses or something like that. 22, my bad. So, peas under mattresses, very key when sussing out princesses.
Graham takes the book and reads through it.
Amazing.
He finds an interesting story.
So, this one, is about Samson, captured by Delilah and the pirates. So the strength, he pulled down the pillars. There's a thing here. Yes, okay. So we need the strength of the male subject. After many foolish games, I'm not sure what was meant by that, Samson finally revealed to her that his strength lay in his hair. Consequently, when he fell asleep, Delilah used a pair of scissors enchanted with the powers of earth and fire and cut off his hair in order to take his strength. So, let's... this way. Now, how does one enchant things with said powers? Well, that's a good question. Where have we seen references to things being made of air and fire and why it's over.
Oh no, the butterfly's trapped.
Oh,
and to make
great.
things worse, about to get eaten.
Oh no! Circle of life, man. What do I have for items? The cloak, money, the scroll, poisoned arm, the necklace, invisibility cloak. What's this?
And Graham thought he was never going to find. Graham hopes no one's tried having tea in this cup. It probably ran over.
Yeah, we expanded the town quite a bit in this, which was fun, coming up with some new stuff for here. Alright, this was about the opening of Checkmate. Grand opening of chessboard then cancelled mid-ceremony. They got into a fight as they were about who was going to cut the ribbon. Oh yeah, and then a pair of scissors got thrown out and ended up cutting this woman's 5 feathers. Searing a Madame Mushka, member of plus 5. Notice Capricorn, the ambitious Earth sign. I should probably write down which actually. There's a lot of mention of which one is Earth, Fire, Air, and Water. So, Earth, Fire, Air, Water. I always keep pen and paper. So, Earth, we've got Capricorn, Aquarius. Is an air sign. You'd think it was water, didn't you? It's not. Pisces is, of course, water, however. Fiery Aries. Taurus is Earth. Gemini is air. I'm a Gemini. What are you guys? Let us know. What's your sign? I'll read your horoscope. Cancer, Crab is a water sign. Leo, fire sign. Virgo, Earth, Libra, Air, Scorpio is water, Sagittarius. You'll also notice we made sure to include the pictures for the various signs. Alright. Let's talk to this guy. He's new.
Good day, Smith.
Good day, stranger. Aren't you...
The father of the king?
Yes, I saw you at the wedding yesterday. My deepest sympathies to you, sire.
Thank you. Working hard, I see.
I wouldn't normally be open after a tragedy of this magnitude, but you know how businesses have to stay up and running. If only I could finish some work around here.
What do you mean?
The light in my forge keeps pettering out. And there isn't even any wind to blow it out, it just flutters out like I poured water on it. I've had to relight it dozens of times today. And not only that, but some of the iron pieces I've been working on don't seem to budge. I work on them and it seems as if I'm doing nothing to them. And worst of all, sometimes when I'm so sure I did something, I look back and it's intact again.
I wonder...
I wonder too. I want to finish my work here.
Well, that's,
It's locked shut with a padlock. How could Graham possibly open it?
Well, I'd need a key, wouldn't I? I have a land to trade, though. I think I'll do Oh, wait. Yeah, just paying.
Ah, tell me, merchant.
Huh? Well, what was that? Oh, do you wish to trade me an old lamp for a fine new one?
No, sorry, I was just wondering. Your trade relies on the hope of you someday finding...
Why?
Thank you. And have you ever...
Well...
And how long have you been in this trade?
Quite a while last time I looked.
And you have no intentions of retiring in the near future?
What? Retire? And miss out on the fortune of a lifetime? Never.
I must say you are determined. Good luck, I suppose.
Let's see, can I just buy one from him? I don't think I can, but I'll try.
Graham considered... Graham doesn't...
Alright. I don't have candy. I already had a nap last time. Yeah. That lamp trader, he's sure the second he does, you know, it's like the lottery ticket thing. As soon as I stop buying it, my numbers are finally gonna come up. He doesn't want to miss that chance.
Good day, Hassan.
Good day indeed. Ready to sail?
Yes. Alright. The map will tell us what island we need to go to. Which one? Or it won't. We went there. I think last time we did a lot of stuff on... Gosh,
A good adventure. This is a very good one, even if it can't transport.
I think it's Isle up here. Well, hey, that wasn't conspicuous at all.
A lone seashell has washed up on shore. What would you do with it?
Hey,
give that back.
You took our shell. Come back here, thief. A checker piece, yes. Indeed.
This vine, growing far away from the others, looks like it's a different kind of plant altogether.
The poor thing looks dead.
Hey.
What? Well, let me go.
Even if they want to.
There was someone get them to let me go, yes. Why did you do that? What's something to do with this thing?
Graham must have broken this lonely lettuce away from its patch when the snapdragons had him.
No, the dragons don't do that. They only do that this one time.
It
It's
is.
not.
It is. It's not. It is. It's
We
not.
keep doing that. They're
It
just still
is.
arguing the whole time.
Is that a stick? And a tomato? In the guillotine? What in the world could have led to this? There it is, Graham.
Hey.
Oh my.
Yes, and that's a whole
It's got a pretty good arm for a
I mean, what a pain.
checker with no arms.
Run quickly. You can do it and outrun that crazy throw.
Sure.
Hey, mister, down here!
Oh, and who might you be?
I'm Stick in the Mud, and this is the Rotten Tomato.
Stick in the mud? Ha! More like half of a stick in the guillotine.
You have no room for talking. You're past rotten now, and you stink! And I have to put up with your putrid stench.
Shut up, whiny baby. And you.
Is in
I don't exactly know, but whatever you are, you'll have to go.
Go? Go where?
Out of this net. I need it.
I'm tired of being thrown here and there and everywhere, as if I was a rotten tomato.
You are.
What exactly are you?
That's none of your business.
You can't leave us here. It's inhuman.
What am I supposed to do with you two then?
You could take us with you.
I'm not going anywhere.
How did you end up in this net?
The Red Queen got mad at the White King and tomatoes started flying through the sky. That's how Mr. Grumpy here got in this net.
What about you?
He was starting to poke at the wrong people, and he got sliced.
I see. Well, if you don't want to leave this net, you're coming with me then.
I said no!
Let's go!
The net is tied to the guillotine. Graham will have to untie it first.
I see. I'm pretty sure this can kill me, so let's save the game first. I heard it's 704 from what I see. I'm just 200% happy or more. Oh, thank you very much, Siriar. Had you watched the earlier streams from a couple months back when I did episodes 1 and 2? If not...
It won't fit. Strange, I know. It's tied to... You will have to get closer.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it. Well, who wants to see me lose my head? Yeah, if you haven't seen the earlier episodes of the stream where I did episodes 1 and 2 of this, you can check them out on our YouTube page where they are in one of our playlists, which I linked to yesterday on our Twitter account. Or just go to youtube.com,
Guards! Well...
/PO Studios. Find them there. And thank you, I'm glad you like what you see. Alright. Yep.
Just because it says head, that doesn't mean it won't take a hand instead.
Right. I'm pretty sure I need to, prop that up. Maybe the arm? The poison arm.
Unfortunately, that won't work. If it makes... But then we... Graham can... The knot seems really tight.
Okay. Okay. Well, you should also try out the game. It's free. Alright, there is something I have to do to, prop that up and keep it from falling. I don't think I have what I need for it just now. Well, so the poisoned arm we used in the last episode for one of the ingredients. Actually, that's probably why I still have it, because I need the poison for one of the ingredients, so I wouldn't get with that. So that's why we still have that, but I thought maybe it was more used to prop that up in here, too. Alright, it's just noon. But let's... Over, let me see what's here. Oh, this thing. Alright.
The chess pieces seem to be... Graham's starting to feel an awful lot like a monkey in the middle here. Graham is glad to see the little hole in the wall back in his homeland and having fun.
Let's go get it. Oh, he moves there. Thanks to that guy.
They're just too fast for Graham to keep up.
So, try getting from him. Moves diagonal. This guy. The same thing again. So the idea is you have to interrupt this.
Please respect the person.
Let's go talk to him.
Hello, friend. Say, do you think you can help me get that seashell?
The hole in the wall subtitles are always just.
I see. They are not passing it to you. Well, if I find a way for them to pass it to you, would you give it to me then?
Alright.
You're not a pick.
Why? Why?
Stand here.
Graham has to find. He's playing with his friend.
But I can't pick Nicholas movements. I have to somehow interrupt the movement. Oh, do I use the cup?
Unfortunately, that won't work.
Graham is.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
The chess pieces seem to be having a lot of fun past. Graham's starting to.
Why? Why? Why?
Whoops. Don't remember. Alright. I've got a lot of things. I thought it was just like pick up hole in the wall, but I have to guess just keep him where he is. Pass to him, but I don't have what I need to interrupt them yet, I don't think. So, alright. Well, isn't that interesting?
This vine, growing far away from the others, looks like it's a different kind of plant altogether.
Didn't this plant look almost dead before?
It did.
Now it looks like it just bloomed.
In fact, as Graham looks closer, he can see a number of pea pods growing here. They look much more fresh than the grapes on those other vines.
The vines that I killed apparently didn't resurrect in this version.
That's funny. The plant seemed to give a slight shudder as Graham took the pod. This object, Graham has no.
Any words? My good. I.
No, I am ready to sell it.
Ready to sell?
Yes. I think the other place I can go is the Isle of Mists in this episode.
Graham is not exactly sure what this totem means, but it must hold great significance to the Druids, as they would not dare depict nature in such a way for the sake of mere decoration.
It's intriguing to Graham.
Alright, so I'll at least introduce you to a character over here before we close up for the day.
A druid woman sits alone by the river cleaning some clothing. It sounds like she's crying. What could be wrong?
Yes, the druids in general are more sociable than King's Quest 6. Let's go talk to this poor woman who's crying and see what's the matter.
Hello? Are you all right?
There's no time. There's no.
I made a poor
Talk about
decision.
a splitting headache. Somebody needs to give her singing lessons. Or maybe laryngitis.
That's the Banshee. So we will reload. I'm going to save here, however, because it is noon, so I'm doing my hour here. Sorry about having some of those technical difficulties earlier. So we're going to not... we're going to not interrupt her, since we know she's having a bit of a time of it. Let's get back to the title menu. Yes. Alright. So, that's today's stream. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, after this week, I'm not going to be able to do the Tuesday streams at this time of day anymore. However, that doesn't mean they aren't going to continue. So next week, Chris, who is doing Lost Civilization, will be jumping back in, and he'll probably be doing them more from there on. And if any time changes or whatever happen, we'll be sure to announce those. But for now, that's what we'll be doing. So next week and after that, you will be treated to the wonderful playings of Chris, and we might have some other team members come in after that to kind of switch it up. So thank you all for watching these. I really have greatly appreciated it, and it's been a lot of fun. And I hope we can do them. I can keep doing them again. It just might have to be at a different time slot to keep going with Silver Lining here. So maybe on an evening or a weekend, something like that. And of course, as always, Silver Lining is available for free at our store. So is the soundtrack. We are working on getting episode 5 out this year, finally, to conclude the story. So if you have been enjoying this, go check it out and try it for yourself. Thanks as always, and have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care.